Hey guys, what's up? It's Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews here with the Christmas special. I wanted to do something a little different, something I've been wanting to do for quite a while on my channel, and that is film analysis. So I figured, what better film to do an analysis of for Christmas than Bob Clark's Black Christmas? Just a little bit of a improv off the head intro before we get into this video, which is scripted. I wrote the script for this in mid-November and started recording it in early December and started editing about halfway through December. Anyway, just forewarning before you get into this, this is going to contain some major spoilers for the 1974 slasher film Black Christmas, which I highly recommend you see before watching this to fully appreciate this film for what it is, and maybe come back here and see what my interpretation is all about. Christmas-themed horror is one of my favorite subgenres of the horror genre, and I don't really know why. Maybe it's the juxtaposition of a holiday about peace on earth and charity being turned on its head by axe-wielding Santas or evil monsters. And there are tons of films within this genre. There are some good ones, definitely some bad ones, and some really fucking weird ones, and even some disturbing ones. But there isn't one in the genre that is as good as Bob Clark's Black Christmas. Black Christmas is a 1974 Christmas-themed horror film from director Bob Clark, who would go on to direct the 80s sex comedy Porky's as well as the holiday classic film A Christmas Story. This film was released in 1974, where it performed poorly at the box office and remains underseen and partially obscure to this day. The movie is about a sorority house with a big problem on their hands. They're receiving obscene phone calls, and suddenly the girls start going missing one by one. Overall, the film is your average slasher film, but there are elements in it that make it stand out from its counterparts of the era. The first big thing, which I won't dwell on too long because it is not the focus of the video, is the very strong, creepy atmosphere of the film. It is damn near perfect at getting under your skin and making you paranoid. Another element to focus on, which is the main focus of the video, is the seemingly pro-feminist themes in the film. The themes of women's rights and female sexual empowerment in the film really stand out and allow the film to rise above its very misogynistic upbringing. Now, the slasher genre is one that oozes misogyny and sexism, whether or not it wants to, which is why it is so surprising to see these elements in a film within the genre. I think the elements become partially apparent during the scene of the first obscene phone call. The sorority sisters, instead of doing what any other slasher characters would do, that being get scared, they mock the caller who threatens them, and they react by calling him a creep and telling him to stick his tongue in an electrical socket. They mock and laugh at what any other slasher character would be afraid of. At least the character of Barb does.
Well, Super Tongue strikes again. Fastest tongue in the West.
That was sick. I really don't think you should provoke somebody like that, Barb.
Barb is then warned that she shouldn't provoke people like that, which she replies with,
Oh, listen, this guy's minor league in the city. I get 2 of those a day.
Maybe.
Now you might just say, well, that's just slasher films trying to say women are stupid, and maybe it is. But I think the reply shows that due to her experience as a woman, she's less scared of hollow threats from anonymous perverts over the phone. This example is very surface level and doesn't really provide much evidence to support my theory, which is why it is the first example I give. But my belief that Barb is an empowered woman, I think, is supported by her character archetype and the contrast between the cliches of that archetype and her actual character. Barb is essentially the slutty character in every slasher film, but instead of being overly sexual and raunchy, she gives off this more laid-back and humorous vibe that I think is entirely intentional. Her actions fit the slutty character cliche, definitely, but her attitude and personality match that of the virgin or comedic relief cliche, making the character feel more sexually empowered and less exploited. This theory of mine is only barely supported by the first scene with the obscene phone call. but I think it is solidified in a few later scenes that involve the mating habits of turtles.
There's a certain species of turtle that can screw for 3 days without stopping. You don't believe me, do you? Well, I mean, how could I make something like that up?
Barb, dear,
No, really, they just 3 days, 24 hours a day. Boom, 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 boom. Can you believe that, 3 days? I'm lucky if I get 3 minutes. Do you know how I know this? Because I went down to the zoo and I watched them. It was very boring. Well, actually, I didn't stay for the whole 3 days. I went over and I watched the zebras because they only take 30 seconds. Premature ejaculation.
And even pranking police officers.
Could you give me the number at the sorority house? Please.
Yeah, sure. It's, fellatio 20880. Fellatio. It's a new exchange, FE.
It's a new one on me.
Sergeant Nash, could I speak to you for a minute?
Yeah, sure, Lieutenant.
What's this?
Well, that's the number at the sorority house.
Fellatio?
Yeah, it's a new exchange. FE.
No exchange?
Yeah, Felicia. One of the girls that was in this afternoon gave it to me.
She gave it to you.
Yeah.
Nash, I don't think you could pick your nose without written instructions.
The themes of female sexual liberation are also semi-prevalent in some of the earlier scenes connected to the first murder victim in the film, Claire.
Barb. Oh, come on. This is a sorority house, not a convent.
I don't know if it's any consolation, but 90% of the time, girls are reported missing from the college. They're at a cabin somewhere with a boyfriend.
Thanks. But that's not much consolation. I'm very disappointed in this atmosphere. I intend to do something about it. Who's this?
That's a friend of Claire's, a very nice young man from the town, Chris Hayden.
I didn't send my daughter here to be drinking and picking up boys.
Hasn't she had enough trouble fitting in here without you getting at her all the time?
Come on, I know a professional version when I see one.
These aren't the only interesting feminist feeling scenes in the film. There's also a subplot in the film involving the main character, Jess, revealing to her boyfriend that she's pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
What?
I'm pregnant.
Jess, that's fantastic.
His reaction, in combination with the fact that he is an unlikable character in every scene in the film, leads me to believe that the character was purposely written that way as a way of telling viewers, don't be like this asshole.
I don't want it.
You don't want it?
No. I'm going to have an abortion.
You can't make a decision like that. You haven't even asked me.
I wasn't even going to tell you.
Jess, I want us to have a baby.
Peter, I can't.
Oh, Christ, Jess. Don't you ever consider anyone but yourself?
I've thought this out very carefully, and I know what I'm going to do.
Why don't you just get out of here? Jeff? I want to talk to you tonight.
There's nothing to discuss, Peter.
I think there is.
I'm not going to change my mind.
We'll see. Will you be there at 9 o'clock?
Yes.
The character goes on to even have a mental breakdown. Become emotionally abusive.
I was upstairs having a little sleep. I hope you don't mind, but it got a little cold out there waiting for you.
I'm sorry I was late, Peter.
Yeah.
Claire Harrison is missing. I was out with a search party looking for her. Yes. Hello?
How noble.
I want to report something. No, I don't want to hold. How did the recital go?
How do you think it went?
Peter, what kind of a game are you playing? I thought you wanted to talk, so why don't you quit attacking me and we'll try to have a rational, adult conversation?
Now listen, Jess, I know you're upset. But I've got something to tell you. I'm leaving the conservatory.
Peter.
Now, just hear me out. Will you hear me out, please? I'm quitting the conservatory and we're getting married. Well, say something.
Do you remember when we first met? You told me about your wanting to be a concert pianist, how it was your greatest dream. And I told you about some of the things that I wanted to do. I still want to do those things. You can't ask me to drop everything I've been working for and give up all my ambitions because your plans have changed. Be realistic. I can't marry you.
Sure you can. What does it change? We could be married. You could still do anything you wanted to do.
Peter, I don't want to marry you.
You selfish bitch. You're talking about killing our baby as though you were having a wart removed.
Now can you see why I didn't want to tell you?
What the hell are you trying to do to me?
What are you doing to yourself?
Jess, let's get one thing straight. You are not going to abort that baby.
Peter, you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot do.
Jess, if you try getting an abortion...
I think you better leave.
If you try getting an
I
abortion...
said get out.
You're going to be very sorry.
And even solidify to both the viewers and Jess herself that he is the killer.
Hello?
Jess?
Yes?
God, please help me.
Oh, look, Peter, don't cry. We can straighten things out. There's nothing to get so upset about.
Jess, we can't kill the baby. Please, Jess. We can't kill the baby.
Peter, where are you?
Please, Jess. You know how I feel about the baby.
Don't do this.
Jess, don't hurt the baby.
Stop this, Peter.
You want a baby. I know you do. I don't want to hurt the baby. Jess, please.
Peter, please tell me where you are.
He is acting so crazy that even other characters believe he could be responsible.
You listen to that?
Yes. What did he mean about killing the baby?
Jess, it's important that you tell me.
We can't kill the baby. That's a strange way of putting it.
Peter's an artist. He's very high-strung.
Neurotic, maybe?
No, no more than a lot of people.
Jess, are you telling me the truth?
I've got a feeling you're holding something back from me. Now, I don't want it to be Peter, but if it is, he needs help. Do you know what I mean? The sooner the better.
And with the second to last phone call, Jess is more than certain that Peter is the killer.
Hello? Hello? Who's there?
But your mother and I must know it. Well, just like having a wart removed.
Oh my God.
Jess then finds out that the calls are coming from a phone inside the house.
Hello?
Who is this?
It's Jess.
Miss Bradford, this is Sergeant Nash. Are you the only one in the house?
No. Phil and Barbara upstairs asleep. Why?
All right. Now, I want you to do exactly what I tell you without asking any questions, okay? No questions. Now, just put the phone back on the hook, walk to the front door, and leave the house.
What's wrong?
Please, Miss Bradford, please just do as I tell you.
Okay.
I'll get Phil and Barbara.
No, don't do that, Jess. Yes. The caller is in the house. The calls are coming from the house. Jess! Jess! Get out! Now don't go up there. Don't go upstairs, Jess.
And after finding the corpses of her friends, she hides in the basement from the unknown killer. She then hears Peter calling her name, trying to find out where she's hiding. Jess knows that he is upset with her. Jess knows that he's having a breakdown, and fears that not just he is the killer, but that he will kill her.
Jess, is that you? Jess, are you in there? Jess?
Out of self-defense, Jess kills Peter off screen. Just as the police arrive and they see that he is dead and hear about what was going on between them, they consider the case closed. But they don't check the attic, and as the film comes to a close, we hear Billy talking to himself, and the phone rings as the credits start to roll. And that is it. That is my case for the pro-feminist themes in Bob Clark's Black Christmas. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this was really poor quality or anything like that. And I also apologize if my interpretation of this doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, wishing you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays, etc., etc. Peace.